The Kadiye is a huge man with a smooth face. Half of his fingers have rings on them. And everywhere he goes, he is accompanied by servants, indicating how important and influential he is to the community. The Kadiye is received with a lot of reverence by the couple, and he is surprised to see the stranger from the north. The servant of the Kadiye wants to give money to the beggar, but he turns the bowl upside down as a sign of refusal, to the embarrassment of the Kadiye, who looks away. In a moment of inattention, from the Kadiye, the serpent slips the coin into his pocket. The Kadiye says he has heard that Igwezu has returned, and says that he is not the only person who has been affected by the flood, when he learns that Igwezu has gone to look at his ruined farm. The Kadiye believes that Igwezu has made much money in the city, and points at the swivel chair that he had sent back home just a few weeks of his stay in the city. Igwezu had promised his father that he would send a chair with the first money that he would earn in the city. He kept his word. He uses the chair to shave his customers and to sit there and relax when he has nothing to do. Makuri serves the Kadiye with alcohol produced from the fermentation of canes. He tastes the wine first before handing the cup to the Kadiye. The Kadiye informs Makuri that his soothsayers have pronounced the end of the rains, and he can now break his vow. He had taken a vow not to shave or take a bath until when the rain ceases. He wants Igwezu to shave him, especially as Makuri is now old and his hands are shaky. The couple informed the Kadiye that Igwezu has not brought his wife because he does not want to expose her to the discomforts of the journey. Makuri regrets about the softness of the younger generation. They also regret that all the fishermen have hung up the boats and nets except for old Waziri, who still ferries people across the flooded waters. The Kadiye informs Makuri that he has to circumcise Daruga's son, say some prayers, and he will return to Makuri's house to shave. Makuri is angry when the Kadiye leaves for referring to him as being old, and wishes that Igwezu returns home drunk. If this happens, the Kadiye will go back home with a bleeding chin. Alu squats down, washes the beggar's feet, wipes them dry, and anoints his feet with oil. The beggar then narrates about his life in the north and how they had been used to the drought. But about a year ago, there had been much rain, and plants had begun to sprout, and the people were excited, and they had cultivated the land. They had planted crops. The crops had grown very fresh, and their hopes that life would change for the better. Nevertheless, the enthusiasm is dashed to the wind when locusts came and ate all the crops. Makuri believes that what had befallen the people of the north is blamed on the gods. While the beggar narrates his ordeal, Igwezu listens to him unnoticed. Makuri asks his son to sit down and asks Alu to get him something to eat, but Igwezu declines the food. Igwezu is glad to be back home to his people, but the frustration of his ruined crops is visible on his face and his countenance. He gets his first encounter with the beggar, whom he immediately proposes to become his bondsman. The beggar has hope that things will be okay and tells him that he has come from Bukanji. We should take note of the following from this section. The Kadiye's physical look and smooth body raises doubts about the sincerity and the devotion to his position. The reverence given to him highlights respect. The fact that the Kadiye's servant wants to give money to the beggar shows that he has a lot of money that he exploits from the people, highlighting exploitation. The fact that the servant slips the coin in his pocket in a moment of inattention from the Kadiye highlights corruption/embezzlement. The Kadiye is interested to find out if Igwezu has made money in the city, highlighting exploitation and materialism. The fact that the Kadiye relies on the soothsayer for prediction of the rains highlights superstition. Also take note of the contrast between the old and the younger generation. The former is very enduring, while the latter is soft. Alu washes and anoints the beggar's feet, highlighting hospitality and generosity. Lastly, the narration of the beggar about their experience in the north and the locals highlights the effects of environmental degradation and brings out retrospection.